welcome to another edition of Pittsburgh Sports Line at the Park House, 403 East Ohio Street. Thanks for coming out to our show. We just celebrated our 4-year anniversary on October 11th, which was yesterday, and we started on a Tuesday night show. Thank you. And we still do that Tuesday night live show every Tuesday night, 7 o'clock to 8. And we're on Tuesday through Saturday night, so check it out. We start our first segment with What's on Your Mind, and it's sponsored by Skeets Lewandowski, and he has Skeets Service Station. Smoking Jim Frazier, what's on your mind?
Thanks, Al Levine, the talking machine. And if you want the green,
there you go, buddy. Just don't break it.
You got to see Levine. Hey, thanks everybody for coming out. I just got one question. How come 350-pound Mike Adams is still on the team? Mike Adams has failed more drug tests than Snoop Doggy Dogg and Martavius Bryant. He's softer than a Dairy Queen ice cream cone. Mike Adams is fat, slow, lazy, sloppy, and out of shape. The only reason Mike Adams is still on the team is because he loves Ben Roethlisberger. At 350 pounds, he loves anything with burger in it. For Mike Adams to still wear black and gold, it's a crime against Steeler Nation.
Thanks, Smoking Jim. Thank you, Smoking Jim. Before I had hearing problems, now I definitely do. I hope that person outside in the street, they were coming in. They're not coming in now. Somebody's yelling. I don't know how you did it, Smoking Jim. I only heard a few of those sentences before, and most of them tonight. Oh, that's another one. Well, Smoking Jim, unlike you, I'm positive the Steelers will win tonight. Who wants to play around? They gave a game away on the Thursday before. It was just a giveaway by everybody. You want to blame somebody? It's a team game. They did it the old-fashioned way. They got a nice lead, then they sat on it. And then what happened? No more lead. No more kicker, new kicker. We still got Vic. And instead of them lying to us about rebuilding and lying that Michael Vick will be all right with a whole week of work, when everybody that's a Steeler fan knew you had a short week. So how do the Steelers get away with lying to everybody that's a true black and gold, bleeding Steeler fan like myself and others? And we get skeptical. 8-8's not great, like you ingrained in my brain now, so I know that. And that's what I predicted for this year. But I think they can get to it. I think they'll win this game tonight. In my opinion, they should win this game. They're out there in San Diego. They did it right. They just got there yesterday. So they just kept their regular sleeping habit. That's the one regular thing they did. And they're out there on the field. Let's go get them, Steelers. Go Steelers. What's on your mind?
Well, I just want to talk about some boxing, local fighters. Matt Conway, sweet child, he fought back in September. The last time I was on the show, I talked about it. And he won. Yeah,
I remember that.
Yeah, he won a unanimous decision, 4 rounds. And he didn't get a knockout this time. He's 3-0 with 2 knockouts. And it was a good fight. He was pretty slick, slipped a lot of punches. Did a lot of count.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. And he's been working out with Ryan Rimsick. And Rimsick's a good kid, too, and he's helped with Sammy Vasquez. And
we'll have to get these guys on the show. You know that. Get that Conway out here.
Yeah, I've been trying to, but he's been working late now, so he hasn't even really been training. But he's supposed to fight at the end of November. He has a fight coming up.
I saw that.
Yeah, and on December 8th, there's a fight at the Consul, supposed to be Sammy Vasquez fighting Lightning Rod Sulka, Iron Man Bergman, Eddie Black Magic Lattimore's fighting.
In front of that, please. Don't go that way. Don't go that way. This is live. Come on.
Yeah, so going to be a good card, local card.
And that's for sure? That's guaranteed now it's going to go off?
Well, supposedly, that's I just heard now. It's going to be on December 8th, and then Karpinski's going to fight. Kryptonite.
That's a nice local crowd.
Yeah. So that'll be real nice coming up down there, yeah.
What else is going on with Skeets?
Well, then, just talking about the fights down in West Virginia coming up here on the 25th, I think it is.
Yeah.
November.
Yeah, it is 25th.
The American Serbian Cultural Center. They'll be down there fighting. And they just fought Don Whalen not long ago. You was Don Whalen on that fight, right, Jim? Yeah, that was a pretty good show. Yeah, them boys down there in West Virginia have been putting on some good shows lately. About once or twice a month they've been having shows down there. Yeah, a guy named Jim Fryer. He's the head commission down there, West Virginia. Tommy Wilson, Rex Hagen, Bruce Runkle, he's a fighter, referee. And then Tim Wheeler, referee. And Mike Napple. Now this guy, Mike Napple, he's tough as nails now. He used to be a fighter. Yeah, Raging Bull's what he called himself. That's a fight name, yeah.
Smoking Jim knows all that.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what. Did you know his last fight was Iron Man's fourth fight? Really? Yep, they fought when Iron Man was just a kid coming up.
He was a big kid.
Yeah. 6th round fight went there, yeah. And but this Napple, he runs a gym down there in Wheeling called Bullpen Fight Club. And like I say, all his boys are just tough as nails.
He runs that club.
Yeah, that's his club, and he got a featherweight.
I've met him. I know. Yeah, I know him.
Where you know him from? Fights? Yeah. Seen him around? Okay. Yeah, and he got.
They're all tough kids because I always say, if they lose, you make them walk home.
Yeah, that's a good incentive there to make him want to win. But his one fighter, Ronell Green, just won a featherweight championship. It was at the WBC, NABC title, and then they had a kid, Travis Clark, down there, heavyweight, West Virginia heavyweight. Yeah, tough kid. And that there kid, Travis Clark, he was a high school wrestling champion for Ohio, yeah, 2-time wrestling champion. So a lot of tough kids down there.
You got a lot of information there. We got to go through all of this. You know that. I don't want you to miss anything. Please.
Yeah, okay. Let me see what else they got here.
Keep digging there. I'll interrupt a little bit now while you're going through. You okay?
Yeah, then I want to talk about the promoters down there. There's Angelo Magno and Man-Made Productions, Promotions. Yeah, and he holds the fights at the American Cultural Center. That'll be there, like I say, end of the month. And he's a real good promoter. And a guy named Mike Murray and John Canterbury, they run World Rank Boxing Promotions. They do a fine job, and they get some good fights up and competitive fights.
Hey, that's what you want. They pack the house, casinos and everything.
Yeah, down at the Wheeling Island Casino, they pack that place. And then, like I say, at the Cultural Center, it's pretty good, man. Yeah, good. Good for the boxing. You like that, Jim?
Yes, sir.
What'd you think of that?
You know what? Great fights. You know, when I go to boxing, I go for one reason and one reason only, to see somebody get knocked out. And I've seen a lot of good knockouts, man.
There you got it from Smoking Jim. Not only an NFL scout, Steelers scout, high school scout, grade school scout, model scout. Woo! I don't know. And if you see Sweeties for Jimmy on Facebook, you know it's because of Smoking Jim.
Yeah, and I've been thinking about Smoking Jim. I think you're right about that homeschooling. I think more kids should be homeschooled. Yes, sir. Yeah.
Well, I got to disagree with both of you. I control the mics. Go to school. You'll end up like these two guys. They're friends of mine, all right? And I know your parents.
Yeah. Mimi would never have me at homeschool back in the day.
She needed a break from you, no doubt about it.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Don't you have a brother and a sister? Or?
I got a younger sister.
A younger sister, okay.
Younger sister, yeah. She's pretty good.
Well, I always like talking to Butch and Mimi there, and I felt bad I didn't help her with groceries last week, but she said I only had one bag.
Yeah, she carries about 3-4 bags up them steps at a time. Yeah, that's for sure.
She said you're a good son.
Yeah, well, thanks. I love you too, Mimi and Butch. Thank you.
You know they'll watch us after you show it to them.
Yeah, they do. They turn on probably, Wednesdays or Thursdays it shows on. Yeah.
Wednesday, this should be up there. And right now, I'm doing the camera work, the setup work, and the PA system. Just so we could hear you tell us what's going on. You got more. Come on. I gave you a little. That's like halftime on your script. Get back in there.
All right, I want to talk about Smoking Jim talking about the knockouts down there. How about Glenn Mitchell's first round knockout, huh? His first pro fight. Yeah, how about that?
Let me get input from him. I feel like I'm in a tennis match.
I tell you what, you guys remember Tommy Hitman Hearns. This guy's about 6'2" and 130 pounds. And the reason that he can hold that weight is because his calves are about this big. So if he had normal-sized calves, he'd be 175. But he's a 3-time State of Ohio Golden Glove champion, a good-looking young man with a heck of a right hand. Had about a 30-second knockout. Proud of him. Joe Board is training him.
Yeah, Joe Board Boxing. Yeah,
you guys are dropping names left and right.
Oh, yeah. Well, Joe Board's a good trainer. He has Freddie Latham down there, too, working out with him.
How's Freddie doing?
Freddie's doing good. Another first-round knockout. Freddie Latham. Yeah. First-round knockout. Yeah.
You want to confirm that, Smoking Jim?
Yeah, Freddie Latham.
Okay. Oh, I thought you just were yeah.
Freddie Latham is a heavyweight. In Pittsburgh, he could never get in shape because he loves the women, but he relocated to West Virginia. And I tell you what, he's in the best shape of his life, undefeated, and by the end of next year, they hope he'd be in the top 15 heavyweights in the world. And if you're one of the top heavyweights in the world, you can make a lot of money.
Leave that honey alone then. Okay.
Yeah. And then they got another pro down there, Big Bear. That's Brandon Spencer. He's out of Georgia, and he comes up and he works out with Freddie, yeah. And he really trimmed down, too, because he was over 300 pounds when he started.
And he's at 280.
Yeah, he really dropped down. Yeah, but he's looking good, too. So.
You know why Smoking Jim's laughing? I say he's over 300 plus. Yeah. If he lost 70 pounds, he might hit that 280.
Yeah, that's right. Hey, they got another kid down there, Cameron Akis, amateur boy. He's going to go down Memphis at the end of the month for the Olympic trials and try out. And he's got
sounds great.
Yeah. And Tika's heading down there, too. Tika Hemingway, ice cold.
When's this Olympic trial, and who's she going to fight?
Well, she's going to fight down there. Well, she's going down. Oh, and Keontae Irvin's going down from Tommy and Kelly. Yeah, they're all.
He just won, right?
Yeah, he run knockout. Where was that fight at?
West Virginia. Wasn't Keontae where you were at?
No, he was somewhere else.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't remember where, but no, he won by a knockout.
Yeah, guys are full of information. They'll drop a name, but who knows where they're at. Glad we had this conversation.
Hey, then we got the Bronson House making a comeback too, up there.
From Washington, PA.
Yeah, Washington, PA. They got some fighters. This Saturday we're fighting down at the Royal, down on 88 and 51. They got a kid named Chris Woods fighting, and Justin Hunnell. And Jeff Morganzi, he runs the place up there now. Harry Booker used to be the trainer up there. And he trained me for about 10 years up there, Mr. Booker. And then
when you had that record setting, tell him about that Golden Gloves, the quickest knockout in history.
Wow, yeah, that's something in 1989.
Here he is. This is him.
Yeah, I had like a 13-second knockout. I knocked a boy out up in Newcastle in the first round. And like I said, think all the great fighters who fought Golden Gloves. There's a lot of them. Ernie Sharif's one of the great ones.
Oh, he's coming on.
Yeah. Then all the great champions. And then, like I said, to have a 13-second knockout, that's kind of crazy for me if it happened to me. I don't know.
I think it's great. And I saw it on YouTube. Unlike Smoking Jim, you know, he does 225 pounds like in the NFL. He does like 35 of them. Never witnessed one of them.
Yeah, that's right. Hey, then Bronson House, too. Back in the day, they had a fighter out there named Sammy Angott. He was a lightweight champion of the world back in 1941.
Didn't we have like 5 champions at one time back then out of 8 titles?
Yeah, 8 titles back in the day.
See, I know a little bit about boxing.
Billy Conn was a light heavyweight. Fritzy Zivic was the welterweight. Sammy Angott was a lightweight. And there was a man named Charlie Burley, middleweight, and nobody would fight him, and they called him the Young Crown Champion. And even like Sugar Ray Robinson or none of them guys wanted to fight him. Yeah, Burley was a tough cat, and he could have been a middleweight champ. So Pittsburgh was a fight town back in the day, and we're trying to build it back up now, getting the kids and.
We're coming back with all these amateur fights. If you can make it, go out to the Royal Place. It is. Yeah. Check it out. There's boxing on Saturday night there. Yeah. It should be a fun night.
Oh, it'll be a real fun night. Yeah, come on down and bring the family down. It's a good family night out. Good food, watch the fights, and yeah, it should be a good night down there.
What else do you got here? I'm trying to give you these little commercial breaks. Yeah. Go to Skeet Service Station in Finleyville. He's our sponsor. He just helped Little Z, our other co-host, Zach Brenner. I don't see him here tonight. He must be still working. He works till 7 every night, as you know. Hasn't made it out yet, but he just had his truck coming back. He made a big thing about it on Facebook. Yeah. Old Blue's back and running.
Yeah, we got it running. That thing's about dead. They towed it in, and we brought it back to life for him, and he's happy as heck to have his truck back. And we fix all cars, all makes, all models, anything, small engines.
Hold it. Tell them your phone number, because I always forget it. It's on speed dial for me, so I'm getting lazy.
724-348-4715.
And tell him one more, because he made me even deafer than I am.
That's 724-348-4715.
Thanks, Skeets. What else?
No, we're there 6 days a week, 8 o'clock to 4 o'clock, and then 8 to 12 on Saturdays.
Hold it. Tell them the day I like to go on.
Oh,
I missed it today.
Yeah, the Monday Munch down there. We get donuts down here in the morning.
From Bethel Bakery.
Yeah, from Bethel Bakery. We had anchovies down here today, salami, cheese, crackers.
Little buffet.
Yeah, a little buffet. Come on down, enjoy. That's there every Monday, even during the week. Come on down. We always got food down there, food and drinks.
No drinking here. It's a family show. Don't start drinking unless it's water, Pepsi, Gatorade.
Right, yeah, that's
green tea. Thanks. He has bags of green tea now.
Yeah, well,
for me.
Yeah, you started that green tea. Yeah, that's for sure. But word out is that me and Zach's going to get in on a race car here, and next year.
Again.
Yeah. Well, this year ran out. We ran out of time, but we're going to get a race car next year.
Well, you guys are so busy, it's unbelievable. But that'll be great. I can't wait to see all the names on the car.
Boy, yeah, we're going to have to get Pittsburgh Sportsline on there, too. Definitely on there. All right?
Oh.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, yeah, right. And then I'm going to have a pit crew. I got a pit crew of maybe Stacy White and Tony Capo and Adam Chidle. Them guys are pretty good with the race cars, and they won up here a couple times.
Hey, that'd be great.
Yeah, so we're going to see.
We know the new owners, Melfi, that own the other track that's NASCAR rated.
Oh, okay.
Motordrome?
Yeah, Motordrome, yeah.
You got to get Zach up there. That's what we were talking about, getting into that. Yeah. I don't want to change your plans.
No, but the asphalt's good too, but actually I like to run the dirt. It's better than dirt track racing. I'll definitely get a dirt car for next year, and we'll probably be helping Zach out with his asphalt car up at the Motordrome. Okay. And that'll be Friday nights, and then Saturday nights we'll be running out at Pennsylvania Motor Speedway out in Imperial.
Anything else you got to say? I told you I'd let you get everything out today.
Yeah, that's for sure. No, thank you. Thanks for having me on, and thanks for listening to me about the boxing and the race car stuff. And a big shout out to Mimi and Butch and my wife Anastasia, Elizabeth, National Honor Society she made about a month ago, my oldest daughter Jessica, my granddaughter Shelby.
Anybody you miss? Hold it, wait, Denny. You didn't say hi to Denny. That's my man out there. How'd you forget about him?
Yeah, Denny Mendocino, Mendomania. Yeah, he's my #1 main mechanic down at the shop. Yeah.
All right, you're done. You almost got more words into me, and I'm the talking machine. Get out of here.
Hey, thank you guys. Appreciate it.
No, thank you. What's on your mind?
Nothing much. I appreciate the invitation, talk to your fans and the viewers and the whole bit, Thanks for the invitation.
We left some stories on the table because you got a million of them, but you only gave us like 2 stories, and we gave you the bum rush. Yeah. So you got at least 3 in you, and maybe if you want to talk local sports, we'll do that.
Okay, I just have, sometimes people always ask, I've did a world title fight on every continent but South America. So that's the only one I haven't done. And they always.
Why?
Well, they haven't selected me yet for South America, but I can't wait to get down there,
Hold on, wait. I don't want to ask your age, But you're not getting ARP yet, are you?
I'll be 59 years old October 23rd, 11 days from now.
Happy birthday.
59 years old, man. I'm going to Geezerland almost, you know. They say,
You'll never make Geezerland. You're going to go beyond that. You're already beyond it.
I hear you. But people,
Hey, I'm with you on that.
I hear you, man. People always say, how did I get a chance to referee internationally? Right. And so what happened is I started refereeing amateur boxing in 1986. And I started professional boxing in 1988. And I was doing professional boxing for a couple of years. And in 1993, they had a fight in Donora, Pennsylvania. And it was a USBA boxing match. That's the United States Boxing Association. And that's a subsidiary of the IBF, which is the International Boxing Federation.
I know it's alphabets everywhere.
Alphabets everywhere, you know. So I was doing a championship fight here in Donora, and the international people came in to watch this national fight. USBA is like a national organization.
Sure.
And so they saw me referee, and then afterwards they said, you should be with us, you know, meaning the international group. Right. So in 1994, I had a recommendation from the commissioner, Greg Serb, of Pennsylvania Boxing, to recommend me for the IBF, and I was accepted. And I've been in the International Boxing Federation ever since.
That is some story. And you run a tight ship in the ring. You're like a no-nonsense referee.
Yeah. Well, what happens is that once you let a fight get out of hand, then it's hard to referee it. So you try to keep it tight for not only for the safety of the fighters, but also for the fans, you know, because once the fight gets sloppy, the people, they're not really getting their money's worth, you know. So.
I understand. Hey, did I ask you about that shirt that was bloody from the Monty Mesa Clay and Rod Sulka fight? Did you keep that?
Oh, that was a bloody shirt, you know. I still have it, though. Yeah. Yeah, I washed the blood out of it, most of it. You know?
I like most of it. You were soaked.
That was a great fight, you know.
Two local guys.
Two local guys putting on a great fight. You know, they both tried their best, and it was 10 rounds of good action, you know.
We hated to see it end.
Yeah, yeah.
You got to work out. You were running around that ring pretty good.
Yeah, I had to watch both of them because they were both fighting real hard, and they kept hitting heads, you know, the headbutts, and that's what caused the blood, you know. But it was a very action-packed fight, and I was glad to be able to referee it. Yeah.
Non-stop. Now, I've heard you talk about everybody else. I'm looking for a fight or two that you want to tell us about. Maybe that you fought in another continent, or maybe it was one of your early fights, or if you want to get into any of that. Think about it.
Yeah, I think one of the most impressive fighters that I refereed on the international level, I did Klitschko.
Okay.
Vladimir Klitschko, who's the heavyweight champion of the world, who, in fact, he fights on the 24th.
I saw that.
A guy named Tyson Fury. And I did Klitschko in Germany. But one of the best prospects I've ever saw was a guy named Ali Fanika from South Africa. I did him in East London, South Africa.
Wow.
In 2008. And picking up what Smoker Jim said, this guy's like 6'2", and he weighed 135 pounds.
He stole this off of you.
Yeah, and it was like, and he was fighting a guy named Raheem. I'm trying to think of Raheem's first name now, but
it doesn't matter. It's a good story.
Zahir Raheem, that was his name, from Philadelphia. Raheem was from Philadelphia. Fanika was from South Africa.
He must have been a tough fighter then.
Yeah, they were both. There's a world title elimination bout. That means the winner of the fight gets the world title fight. And this guy could punch so accurate, and he was so good, and he knocked Raheem out. He stopped him, you know. Yeah. But I was very impressed. And then he had a chance to fight for the world title, and he lost a very close decision.
That's a shame, then.
Yeah, but there's a lot of talent in the world, you know. A lot of
You've seen it. I've seen it, some of the videos that you've been in. If I haven't seen it live, I've seen you. Yeah. I'm glad that I got to meet you a few years ago. Yeah,
and I'm glad to meet you too, you know, because people like you are really good for the game, you know.
Thank you.
I mean that, and we need more people like you to give us the exposure and the interest and the intelligence, because you're not only a good television guy, but you're a good sports guy.
Well, thanks again.
We need more of that in the boxing. The good sports people, not just boxing people, but good sports people who not only enjoy boxing but enjoy sports in general. You know.
Well, we're like blue collar, which how Pittsburgh is. Give everybody a chance because we're blessed to be on TV. You know, Verizon 32 everywhere, Comcast 7 in Bethel, and everything's on YouTube. So we have people in other countries actually watching this because there's Steeler fans all over the world. We're in 55 countries outside of the United States.
I never knew that. Congratulations. You know.
Thank you.
That's beautiful. And again, that helps the whole game because when you just have fight people in the fight game, that's not good. But when you have other people who are interested in the fight game, who are interested in sports in general, again, it adds more credibility.
Well, I try to put up sports from everywhere. Even soccer. I'm not a big fan of soccer. I feel it's like watching paint dry. But I do post it every once in a while. They have a nice goal once in 90 minutes, so I'll put it up.
Yeah, that's good, you know. And I'm impressed with both you and Jim's knowledge of sports in general, you know.
Well, thank you. I'll let him talk. What do you think? He's complimenting.
Well, I have a question that everybody will want to know. Most people don't know that this guy, when he was an amateur, was ranked number 2 in the world behind Sugar Ray Leonard. Fought Sugar Ray to go to the Olympic trials. My question to you, who would win in their prime, Sugar Ray Leonard or Money Mayweather?
Oh, man, that's a big question there. I may be a little biased, you know.
Then tell us.
But I think that Sugar Ray would beat him, you know. I think Money Mayweather, the reason why it's so tough, because he may be greater than what we can conceive.
It's hard to judge him.
It's hard to judge because all of the competition he beat so easily. And he's the first fighter that I can remember where he's taking the top competition and he's making a boring fight out of it because they can't press him. Ali had Joe Frazier. Ali had Ken Norton. Ali had George Foreman. And they were all tough, knockdown, drag-out fights. Sugar Ray Leonard had Tommy Hearns, where you're sitting on the edge of the seat, wondering who's going to win this. Sugar Ray Leonard had Marvin Hagler. He had Wilfred Benitez. He had Roberto Duran. But Mayweather doesn't have the counterpart to bring out the greatness in him. So either it's a lack of competition or he's so great that he's a head and shoulders above the rest.
We'll never know that. That's speculation, like you know. You're a lawyer trained, so I'm not going to delve into it, but you put a nice point out there and a counterpoint. I like that.
Yeah, so we don't know. I think Sugar would have beat him because I think Sugar
in the prime now, so that makes a big difference.
Oh, absolutely. Now, Sugar Ray Leonard and the one who beat Tommy Hearns and the one who beat Benitez, I think would have beat Mayweather in his prime. In the world of white, in other words, Mayweather who fight Oscar De La Hoya, and the Sugar Ray Leonard who fought Tommy Hearns or Wilfred Benitez, I would pick Leonard.
Okay.
But
I can see the logic there.
Yeah, but I think it would be a great fight. But Sugar Ray Leonard fought Mayweather's father, Floyd Mayweather Sr. And it was a decent fight. Floyd Mayweather Sr. was a good defensive fighter. He was not as good as his son.
Sure.
But he was a good fighter, and Sugar Ray stopped him in the 10th round. But it was a good fight, though.
That's interesting. Smoking Jim, that's one of the best questions I ever heard you ask a guest. We're going to have to make sure we cut this out and just save this video clip. And Ernie, I'm glad you're a part of that. You know he's an attorney, so to ask him a question, look at the in-depth he went on it instead of like you. Yeah, I know the guy. Yeah, money's the best right now. Bet the house on him.
Now the question.
Thanks for your insights.
Give the counter question. Now, who's the greatest pound for pound between Muhammad Ali and Floyd Mayweather? Wow.
Let him answer that one. I think you knocked him out. Look, he can't even breathe.
Well, pound for pound, the greatest fighter that ever fought, Rocky Marciano.
Hold it, wait. I got to do a disclaimer. This is public access TV. All the opinions that he has, he actually believes that it's a fact. That was not in history. You could go through all this. He was undefeated. He come back from so many things. He's one of the greatest. But when you looked at him, he paralyzed guys' arms, even though he was bloodied, knocked down. I don't know if that would have lasted today against some of our fighters today, Smoking Jim.
My opinion.
Okay, I'm glad he said that. Perfect comeback.
I think Rocky Marciano was a great fighter. Again, he was undefeated. But I guess he was just a person of his time, because at that time all the heavyweights were like smaller. And so
He was under 200 pounds.
he weighed
180 something?
He weighed about 185, and Ezra Charles weighed about 185, 186. So they were smaller men. But Rocky Marciano, you can't argue with success. He was 49-0, and he beat the top fighters of his day. And so it's hard to argue that, you know.
I understand, but you did say pound for pound.
Pound for pound.
Now, I want to throw Sugar Ray Robinson in there.
Sugar Ray Robinson.
And before he started losing, when he had to come back to boxing because he was in debt to the IRS, he was fighting every 3 weeks, every month. What did he have, a streak, 80, 90 in a row that he was undefeated?
See, Sugar Ray Robinson, that's the thing. Again, we're looking at the times. Now, Floyd Mayweather is 49-0 after 20 years, or 19 years of boxing. He's 49 fights and 0. Before Sugar Ray Robinson had a chance to fight for the middleweight championship of the world, he had 118 fights.
In a row.
And he lost one.
On a questionable call.
And the person who beat him was Jake LaMotta, and he beat Jake LaMotta 5 times. So
Raging Bull, Smoking Jim. There actually was a movie on him.
yeah, that's right. That's right. So it's hard to determine because, again, Mayweather has 49 fights in 20 years. He's a great fighter, but Sugar Ray Robinson had 40 fights in the first 3 years of his career. He was 40-0. Then he lost to LaMotta. But people like Willie Pep had over 300 fights. Archie Moore had close to 300 fights. Archie Moore had 161 knockouts. And so,
That's why pound for pound makes a difference. You're bringing up some good history here.
pound for pound, and when you're looking at history, so it's hard to really, judge when you look at all the great fighters throughout history. It's hard to kind of, say, well, is he the greatest in history?
Well, I'll throw Harry Greb out there.
Harry Grant was great. I think he had, I read this, I don't know if it's true, but the first 40 fights he had was in the 1 year. He had 40 fights. It's true. He had 40 in 1919. 1919, he had 40 fights, and he won all 40.
Well, I read that he fought any weight, anybody, anytime. Not only was he a street fighter, but he fought in the ring.
And that's the difference. Again, that's another element between today's fighter and yesterday's fighter. Yesterday's fighter, they fought basically a lot, and they fought a lot of bad guys. Today's fighters, you can pick and choose a little bit better. And so there wasn't much picking and choosing back then. You fought a lot. And you fought a lot of bad guys. But today's fight is a little bit different, where they can pick and choose. You have television, you have the pay-per-view. So people can sit in their living room, and you can get rich off of people just pressing a button and saying, okay. Then you have the advertisement and things like 24/7 access, and so they watch that and they build up the curiosity, and then they pay from home, so that's an advantage too of today's fighter.
It is. Hey, I got one more question. Okay. When are you next in the ring?
I have nothing scheduled yet, but Skeet said maybe December the 8th there will be a show here in Pittsburgh, professional show. And if that's the case, I'll probably be working on that date.
Well, after you work there, we want you back on the show to give your insights. I've enjoyed all our conversation and even the question with Smoking Jim, and he gave us an opinion. You're the only guy I know to pull out that was his opinion after I brought something in too. But Rocky Marciano is one of my heroes, and it's only later in life that I read about a lot of these guys you didn't hear about and saw some of the videos too.
Again, I thank you for the invitation, and anytime you want to invite me, I'll be happy to come.
Well, thank you very much.
Now, you take care.
welcome to our show.
Thank you, thank you. Glad to be here.
I know you're used to being mic'd up in one take, so that's all we're going to do. It's on automatic pilot. It's all set up. Just keep smiling.
Awesome.
Don't be turning on me like you did on plunging there.
I won't.
Well, first I want to ask you about the Steelers. Let's just start right off the bat because they'll be playing shortly. Mm-hmm. I know your opinion in general, but I want people to hear it because I watch the show at 1:30 in the morning. No, I DVR it. So.
Oh, you don't stay up for me?
Hold it, wait a second. Here's why I don't. I got to see a guy going like this. Then I got to hear Ty Miller. Hey, smoke him. What's up with that fist? That's his style. He's smoking. All right, now something serious.
All right, so what I think about today is definitely Monday Night Football. So we're excited, revved up, ready to go. Usually going into this game, I would be thinking like 2004 class, but it's different because Vic's starting. So usually it would be a comparison between Rivers and Ben. But, of course, that's not the case today. So today it's more so, is Vic ready? Had a whole week with the start.
Does he have to be that ready?
Yeah, he has to be ready. He has to be ready.
I don't think it matters that much. He has all the weapons. Just get the ball to them.
That happens to have to be ready.
Hold it, wait. He's played his whole life in football. If you're not ready to throw the ball.
But that's different. The offense is used to Big Ben, two totally different quarterbacks. So you're talking about Big Ben stature versus Michael Vick stature.
Here's where I
Here's
where I disagree.
Okay.
If you bring coaches into your team and they set up for Big Ben or whoever, now they got a guy that's shorter, quicker, not as fast anymore, who loses the ball more times than you can complain. So why wouldn't you dumb down the offense because they've been rebuilding for 4 years? I'm the only one in the media saying they're rebuilding. You mean the coaches can't adjust for that in one day?
Well, it's not about just the coaches adjusting. It's about the players adjusting. You have Bryant having to get ready and turn certain ways. The ball's zip comes different from Ben than it would come from Michael Vick. So his body has to turn different from the left hand to the right hand. So it's not just about coaching plays. It's about players actually adjusting to the ball.
Here's what I'm confused about. I'm old school. You got 1,600 some players that are the best in the world playing our game.
Absolutely.
You agree?
All right.
Okay. Now, I'm right-handed. So I throw it. Most of them, they're going to see right-handed players, right?
Yeah.
And they catch it, but I'm going to throw a bad ball once in a while.
Okay.
Now, I see them going up, left, right, or whatever else. How much difference is it? I say inches.
Well, the difference was shown with Brown in the end zone.
It's concentration. He's lazy.
He does not drop that ball if that was Ben. It would have been spot on touchdown. You've seen the difference in that one play, the difference between Vic and Ben in that one play.
He had both hands on the ball. Did you see that?
Yes, but did you see how his body had to turn to get the ball?
He was diving towards the ball.
It was different.
You see, I like to argue, too.
No, it's all right. I'll argue all day. I'm the great debater, so we can go head to head.
We already are. You missed that. I didn't waste any time. But I agree there's a difference. But, and the big but is, you're making millions of dollars for something I cannot do at a level that I'll never see except on TV. So to me, they're excuses.
No. So it will be an excuse if he doesn't do good today. You have to think, he came in the game after Ben. He did not practice the whole week with the first string, with the starters. He was on the backup team. He did not have that same opportunity that Ben had or has had for weeks. So it's not the same.
Wait a second. You mean that Tomlin and everybody lied, including Vic, that they didn't have a full week before the Baltimore game? They said they had a full week. Now, I said earlier, you heard me here, they practiced maybe a day or two.
It's a full week considering the way the NFL set up with Thursday games, but it's not a real full football week.
Well, wait, this is double speed.
You're going from Sunday to Thursday. That's not the same.
It's not a full week.
That's not the same. That's not a full week.
Thank you.
To be fair, this week will be the tester. If he doesn't show up today, then I'll take all of that. But last week wasn't fair.
I'm a little more critical because they were up by how many points?
Well, we got Scooby. Old Scobie kicked us out of the game.
Here, think about this logic. You're rebuilding. You lost 2 kickers. Now, who's picking up these players? Scobie was in Jacksonville, was a legend. He just got beat out. Do you know he's going to retire? He can kick the ball, but his mind's shot. When you do that so many times, look what we got for a 6th-round draft pick. Why?
We gave up our pick, and he still gets paid. He had guaranteed money, so you got to think about the money he's still going to get paid for missing kicks and to sit on the couch and watch somebody else kick.
Well, yeah, but obviously, how come we can talk about it, but Steeler management, aren't they in charge of $1 billion corporation? So in other words, they didn't care enough about that.
They cared enough. They were in a little bit of a bind and thought that they went with a ringer. They thought they had somebody good. We lost games on Scobie's foot, so you would think like, okay, he's gonna come through and clutch for us, but he didn't. He kicked us on out of the stadium, couple stadiums. So, and people use the excuse, it was Hinesville. He's buffed in New England too, so he missed them everywhere. We're done. Well,
he's done, so at least we touched on that subject. Now, tonight's game. Tell me about that.
We got no name. We got a no-namer. I don't even want to name his name till he actually kicks a kick. So I'm not even going to say his name tonight. When he actually kicks one for us, then I'll mention him. I'll give him a name cred. That's how I feel.
You got him kicking peanuts here. I actually have a football in here for you.
We did this last week. I'm a pro at the field goal.
If I could only find it.
Yeah, if you can find it.
Where is that? Oh, man, I don't have it. I could make one real quick. I know you guys would compete. We'll have to have a paper football tournament.
I'm a
You two head to head.
Well, I'm from Monroeville, so I got the advantage. Home of the champ.
1968.
Oh, goodness. 68.
We don't know his age. We're just speculating. He keeps talking about Gateway. I said, what, they dropped another division? I don't understand it.
So back to tonight, though, with Vic.
Yeah, that was the question.
So back to tonight with Vic. I don't know. So he is like 1-3 against the Chargers, so that's a little scary. But maybe it's him, making atonement for his 1-3 record against them. He might take it to 2-3. I mean, he'll get it up.
He is tonight. I predict a win.
Predict the win? What's your score?
Forget about the score. 1 point's enough. One more than the other team. You guys want to do that? I'm not betting on the game. Don't bet your house. This will be out after the game anyhow. Steelers will win tonight in San Diego.
I'll definitely take that. We got Monday Night Mike, so
that's it.
Yeah, he'll definitely come through. The 2 losses he have are on the road, but I don't think it'll happen in San Diego. For sure.
Okay, good butt on that one.
But not tonight.
Ida, it's been a pleasure having you on the show. Good luck with Tom. He come at me strong on my show, too. That's why I come strong with you on that.
You come strong any day. I'm ready.
You were ready. Thanks for being a great guest.
Definitely. Thank you.
And I've met you before.
Yes, you have. My name is Elizabeth King, but everybody calls me Bit.
Bit.
That's right.
Welcome, Bit.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
What question should I ask then, since you got all this staged? 1 + 1 = 2? Do you know that? Never mind. That's how he bases who's the smartest in the family. I'll start with what's on your mind here.
Well, actually, I'm here representing Achieving Greatness and the Pittsburgh City League Hall of Fame induction ceremony that we're having this weekend.
I didn't know that was a sports question.
It's always a sports question with me.
I understand that.
Yes.
Are you in it?
I am not in it, but...
Did you vote for it?
I didn't vote for it, but...
Then what are you doing here?
Well, I helped to represent it. I, brought it about. I joined the company with Mr. Neal.
That's what I'm getting at. You just keep going. I'll ask the questions.
It doesn't matter. We're here to, add all to it and everything. So we want to make sure that everybody knows about it. And this is the second year for it. We got Larry Brown coming in from the Washington Redskins, played for the Washington Redskins.
Right.
We have Tony Licio coming. He played for the Dallas Cowboys. Wes Garnett played for the San Diego Chargers. We have a lot of other.
You got a list here?
I don't have a list. I'm going.
You know what? We had guys on our show at Camp Petey's that had that list. They were telling us about it.
They joined. Well, they're the ones who voted for it. I get to be the person to help with my partner Brandy. We help to promote it. It's actually sold out. So.
Well, tell me where it's at.
It's going to be held at the Wyndham Hotel in Oakland. It's going to be this Saturday.
Is that on the Boulevard of the Allies there?
It's not. It's on Lighton Avenue. It's right like a street over from the Soldiers and Sailors.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Now I know.
Now you know, yeah. So in the ballroom, they're going to be honoring 22 people. The oldest Olympian living is here this year.
What's his name?
His name is Herb Douglas Jr., graduated from Alderdice, went to Pitt. And Mr. Arnie Soule is also here. He's 82 years old, and he's went to the 1956 Olympics. So,
It's a pretty impressive class.
very impressive, very impressive. So,
You're a good representation.
I hope so. Thank you. Thank you. So, we're here just making sure that everybody gets everything. There's the list.
Oh, well, you can bring it up.
Oh, well, Brandy can show you.
You sure?
Absolutely. That's what Brandy's here for.
I didn't know that.
Bring extra people with me, not just them guys. We want to make sure that
You're no Bill Neal.
I'm no Bill Neal and I'm no Chuck Franklin either, so I think we're prettier than them.
Oh, no doubt. Look at that smile. We need the camera. We'll take
Right.
anybody that's a guest, stick around. We'll take photos of everybody afterwards so we can help promote this, okay?
Of course, absolutely. So, we just want to make sure everybody knows about it because those who can't attend this year will definitely be able to want to attend it next year and for years to come.
Definitely. Look at that. Class is growing.
The class is really growing. A lot of people are going to be there. We're going to make sure that, everybody, the best of the best, gets recognized and, gets honored. City League never had anything like this. So what took them so long? So we had to come.
We don't want to get into that. That'll be all day. I actually saw City League basketball championships in the late 60s.
Oh, yeah? Well, we're all.
My dad reffed the games.
Well, speaking of basketball, we're also having a very special presentation. Chuck Cooper got in last year. So, him being the first black man to, he was a Jackie Robinson of NBA. So the Celtics gave his son a nice picture, probably the first dunk ever. And he's, we've got some, a lot of things coming out.
So there'll be some auction and Chinese auction stuff, or no?
So, but it'll be a lot of things
Memorabilia.
A lot of history, exactly. A lot of history.
Well, thanks, Bit. Should we have Brandy up next?
Yes, we should.
Okay, we'll follow your orders. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm Brandy Lipford, and I am the Director of Marketing and Advertising for Achieving Greatness, Inc. So my role in this is to make sure all of our inductees are introduced and honoring the best.
We're going to do it on this show. We only got so much time. Do you know we're constrained by 60 minutes?
We got it.
Not for you, though.
Okay, all right.
Can you tell me all their names?
Larry Anderson, Caitlin Brown, Larry Brown, Carmen Bruce, Edna Campbell, Ricky Cannon, Henry Chapman, Bill Clark Sr., Keith Sean Crosby, Herb Douglas Jr., Wesley Garnett, John Giordano, Lynn Harris, Kurt Heflin, Renee Henderson, Mark Hogan, Hosea Holder, Clarence Hobson, Carlita Jones Evans, Tony Licio, Rod Rutherford, Ahmad Sharif, and Arnie Soule.
You got all the names in, all 22. Now tell us about you. How did you even get in this position here on this job and this achievement thing?
It all starts with Bill Neal. I used to be his producer for his Champion Sports Show way back on AMX 60 back in 1990 and 91, 92, and 93.
I knew you had some experience around Bill Neal. You were just playing there.
Him and Eddie Jeffries. I used to be their associate producer for their AM's 860 radio show.
Nice. We got some history. Was Smoking Jim on any of those shows?
Absolutely.
And he doesn't know anything to introduce you. I could tell there was a problem here in credibility.
It's okay. We'll brush up another time. That makes sure
He
that I
forgot
come
your
back.
name.
It's okay. It's okay, but he posted my picture on his Facebook page, so I don't know.
Let me explain something. No disrespect, men here, but that's part of the Sweeties, Jimmy's Sweeties. You're in that group now.
Okay. All right.
And we do get a lot of good people out of the group in business, so I appreciate it. And you kept your word. You got everybody in there.
I did. I have to make sure I send that shout out so that they can get their proper recognition. See?
Beautiful.
Yeah.
No.
One thing, one thing, Al Levine, the talking machine's dad, is in the first annual Hall of Fame. He's already in.
Thank you. He's watching down, smiling right now like, what are you talking about? The Steelers are going to be on. I want to watch the Steelers. That's what he would have said. All that nonsense, forget about it right now. But thank you, though.
Thank you. Not only that we're representing just the city high schools, but we have to also represent for those schools that aren't even open anymore.
They're gone.
They're gone, absolutely gone. And
Where's Shenley at?
I'm a 1992 graduate.
No way.
Yes, I am.
You have no school building.
None.
They're living in there.
I know, they're turning it into.
And they're not homeless.
Not at all. Let's go kick them out.
It's a good community now. I just drove by there about 2 weeks ago. Looks good there.
I'm a little upset about that. But we have a lot of representation for both Westinghouse, Alderdice, Perry, Oliver, Peabody. So most of our inductees are from Westinghouse and from Shenley.
Well, they won about 28 championships.
Yeah.
Big house.
I know, Westinghouse, Bulldogs.
I know some history. We got to have you on another time after
We
the
will.
show. Everybody knows the Pittsburgh poet, my friend from KO, Billy Nardozzi.
Hi.
What are you doing here?
Well, Ellen, actually, Bonnie and I have a little memorabilia to present to you and Jim and Zach. The Pittsburgh Pirates, unfortunately, didn't turn out the way we wanted them to. So
He's a hater. Zach's a hater of baseball. But go ahead.
Are you?
He tries to deny it. How can you smile when somebody else is suffering? That's a Schadenfreude type of guy. Look up Schadenfreude. He revels in somebody else's misery. Don't give him an award.
I could have thought differently because when I seen his jersey, I thought this guy's in baseball.
No, that's football. That's the only thing he knows. When they suck, they're still great. See, he's a Schadenfreude. Look that up, Schadenfreude. All of you will be impressed that I knew that because his photo's there.
Zach, baseball's the game. You should feel the same. That's the name. That's.
He can't wait to expel that hate. You want more? I'll go all day.
So, ladies and gentlemen, seriously, Bonnie and I, she didn't want to come up, but she's.
She lost her voice during the wedding.
She did. She did. She called me up today and said, Billy, can you please? I need a favor.
All right, what is this about?
No, it is a memorabilia we present to Jim, Alan, and
Schadenfreude Zach.
son. For the Pittsburgh Pirates of the 70s. There's pictures of them, and this is for you guys. Alan, here you go. Without further ado.
That is all. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. We can't get a close-up of it, but we'll get some photos of it. I got that camera rolling.
It's Sturgill Clendenin, the Sturgill Clendenin, the Ultimate Team, Manny Sanguillen.
How about the Gravedigger? Richie Hebner. He dug graves on the side.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Well, I try to bring some history.
Alan, you know I'm a sports guy.
I know. Not, but I know. You're good. You got a good heart. Keep writing those poems. Just don't go through each player.
Alan, one more thing I would like to say. The Pittsburgh Pirates, the initials are P and P. They stand for Pittsburgh Pirates. And also, I have the initial P that stands for your show. The word is perfection.
Thank you. You know what? We're not even talking baseball because this guy made a broad statement that we won't talk baseball anymore because we lost. We actually have a special edition tomorrow about how a generation could lose faith, and then after 3 winning seasons, they still lost faith. Here he is, folks. Zach Brenner with a new beard style.
Well, I guess I lost faith because,
Let it out. Don't hold back.
3-1 game playoff and done pretty much isn't.
Didn't we win the first? Okay, I'm glad he could correct himself. We only go by opinions with these two until I bring up you need facts.
I've been sticking to facts.
Well, your fact was wrong about the 80 games home season. We're cheering you, buddy.
Yeah, they're cheering for the team to cheer for. Still in San Diego. Hopefully Michael Vick comes to play tonight. I don't know. It's going to determine on the scheme, and the play calling by the offensive coordinator is going to dictate this game.
Well, they should have changed the game plan.
Well, they should. Yeah, it was the worst loss I ever seen to Baltimore. We had Baltimore,
Except they were winning with the bad game plan. What does that mean?
Well, the kicker, Antonio Brown, as you alluded to, not holding on to the ball. I think it was lack of concentration. I'm not buying the spin or the different.
You aren't. You're agreeing with me. There's hope, America.
Just not with the current Buccos, that's all. But
well, one thing while you're still going there, I don't know if you've watched enough baseball. There's an old adage, and I don't know if you know that. It's like an old saying. Good pitching beats good hitting every time. The 2 pitchers that pitched the last 2 series were the best in the league. Now, you had a guy that would not give up 1 run a game. How do you get over that?
Well, do you think Hurdle set that managerial lineup to win or to not lose? Because in my opinion, he set it up not to lose. But
here's what he did.
No Ramirez, no Pedro.
That's too obvious. He did that in a game before. He's showing the players he doesn't have faith. And that's a bad thing. You can go by your gut 90% of the time, but that time he should have just played like you want to win because 1 home run would have changed that whole game.
Well, like I said,
Kutch
isn't clutch. So
everybody knows that. Bonds wasn't, you're too late. You're too young and you're too late. You're not even close because if you check who got the first one.
I'm not speaking about Barry. I'm talking about.
We're talking about Kutch. They knew that. You just come to the party late. These are too easy. Serve up some good high, hard fastballs. Come on. Like the pitcher did. Arrieta.
Well, I think he's on steroids smoking Jim Frazier. I think he's juiced.
Oh, excuses. Who cares? The rules, he didn't get caught.
He was a fifth in the rotation guy, and the next thing you know, look at him. He's going 9 innings deep on the Buccos. You're battling Buccos. All 9. He went the full game.
Here's what you miss. He did it against the whole league. The second half of the season, this wasn't just against the Pirates. That's why I keep saying Schadenfreude, but you like this, so that's what it is.
You knew it was coming as soon as they didn't get out of that one and done. It was coming.
Well, you're too obvious. It's like you're telegraphing the next pitch you're going to throw.
That's why I don't play baseball.
I know. Now you can see why. Well, we'll have fun tomorrow night, that's for sure. I'm glad you made it tonight. Anything else on your mind? What about the Steelers? You always like giving scores. You giving a score tonight?
Yeah, I'll give a score. 27-20. Pittsburgh wins.
Smoking Jim, you're the known gambler here. Now, don't gamble. If you haven't started, don't do it. He's a gambler. What's up?
28-17, San Diego.
He also said as long as Ben's out, they won't win another game. This is when he was talking to us privately after Big Ben went down. You miss a lot of it. I'm Al Levine, the Talking Machine, Smoking Jim Frazier, Zach Brenner. Stay Joey strong.